Before he was a preacher, before he led the church, Peter was a fisherman. Strong, impulsive, passionate. A man with rough hands and a willing heart. Then Jesus called, "Follow me." And Peter did. He left his nets, he left his boat, left everything familiar. And for 3 years, he walked beside the Son of God. Peter watched miracles unfold. The sick were healed, storms were calmed, lives were changed. But one moment would stay with him forever. One night, a storm raged across the sea. Then, through the darkness, they saw Jesus walking on the water. The disciples were terrified, but Peter shouted, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come." And Jesus said, "Come." One foot over the edge, then the other. And for a moment, Peter did the impossible. With his eyes fixed on Jesus, he walked on water. But then he noticed the wind, the waves, the danger. Fear entered and he began to sink. "Lord, save me." Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand, because that's what Jesus does. He catches people who are falling. Peter was close to Jesus, very close, and he knew what it felt like to be rescued, which is why what happened next hurt so much. Jesus looked at Peter and said, "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." Peter couldn't believe it. "Never, even if I must die with you." And he meant it, every word. But then came the arrest. The swords, the shouting, the chaos. Everything changed. Fear entered the story again. Peter followed, not closely, not boldly, from a distance, close enough to watch, too afraid to stand beside him. "You were with him." "No." "You were one of his disciples." "No." A third voice, "Surely you know him." And Peter swore he didn't. Then it happened. The rooster crowed. And across the courtyard, Jesus looked at Peter. No anger, no condemnation, just truth. And Peter remembered. The fisherman who had walked on water, the disciple who promised loyalty, the man who loved Jesus, had denied him 3 times. And Peter wept. But grace wasn't finished because Jesus wasn't finished. After the resurrection, Jesus met Peter where it all began, by the water, near the boats, near the nets, near the man who thought he had ruined everything. "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" Peter answers, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Then Jesus asked a second time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter answers, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Then a third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was grieved because Jesus asked him the third time, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus answers, "Feed my sheep and follow me." One question for every denial. Not to shame him, but to heal him. Jesus didn't define Peter by his worst moment. Instead, he restored him. Maybe you failed. Maybe you've betrayed your own values. Maybe fear made you become someone you never thought you'd be. Maybe you're carrying regret. Peter understands, and so does Jesus. The man who once denied Christ stood before crowds and proclaimed him. Not because Peter was perfect, because Peter was redeemed. A fisherman, a disciple, a failure, a leader, a man who learned that your worst mistake does not have to be your final chapter to change. You are Peter.